There are reliable cars, and then there are cars that seem personally offended by the concept of breaking down. Today we're counting down 3 vehicles that mechanics secretly wish would visit their shops more often. One of these cars has owners reporting mileage numbers that sound more like lottery jackpots than odometer readings. And trust me, if you think the first one is impressive, the last car on this list might completely change the way you think about reliability. Welcome back to Old Man Garage. Let's kick things off with a car that has been quietly surviving while flashier vehicles are busy scheduling their next therapy session at the dealership. We're talking about the Mazda CX-30. Now, I know exactly what some people are thinking. A Mazda? Really? That's like showing up to a heavyweight boxing match and finding out the quiet guy in the corner is actually the champion. Most people walk right past the CX-30 because they're too busy arguing about Toyota and Honda like it's the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, Mazda is over here building one of the most underrated vehicles on the road. The funny thing is, Mazda didn't become reliable by accident. They didn't throw darts at a whiteboard and hope for the best. They built the CX-30 with a philosophy that's almost illegal in modern automotive design. Don't overcomplicate things. Under the hood, you'll find Mazda's naturally aspirated 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine in most models. Depending on the year and trim, you're looking at around 191 horsepower, solid fuel economy, and enough reliability to make an extended warranty salesperson suddenly lose confidence in their presentation. This engine doesn't spend its life trying to impress strangers at stoplights. It wakes up, does its job, goes home, and repeats the process for hundreds of thousands of miles. And honestly, that's kind of refreshing. We're living in an era where some manufacturers seem determined to squeeze 17 different technologies into an engine the size of a microwave. Then everyone acts surprised when something breaks. Mazda looked at that trend and basically said, "Nah, we're good." The result is an engine that's remarkably durable. Owners regularly report crossing 200,000 miles with nothing more than routine maintenance. Oil changes, brakes, tires, fluids. You know, normal car stuff. Not the kind of repair bill that makes you stare at your bank account and start Googling, how much does a horse cost? The transmission deserves some credit too. Mazda stuck with a traditional 6-speed automatic transmission for years, while the automotive industry was busy putting CVTs into everything with 4 wheels. That's a huge deal. While some drivers were learning what a CVT replacement costs and immediately regretting every life decision that led them there, CX-30 owners were just driving to work and wondering what all the drama was about. And speaking of driving, this is where the CX-30 becomes genuinely dangerous to its competition. See, most reliable cars make a trade. They'll give you dependability, but they'll also give you the emotional excitement of waiting in line at the DMV. Mazda somehow figured out how to build a vehicle that's reliable and actually enjoyable. The steering feels connected, the suspension is balanced, the cabin is surprisingly upscale. Sit inside a CX-30 and you start wondering if somebody accidentally put a luxury car interior into the wrong vehicle. Seriously, if you blindfolded someone, sat them inside a well-equipped CX-30, and told them it costs $10,000 more than it actually does, they'd probably believe you. Then they'd start shopping for one before you even removed the blindfold. Fuel economy is another area where the CX-30 quietly wins. Most naturally aspirated models deliver around 26 mpg in the city and around 33 mpg on the highway, depending on configuration and driving habits. Not hybrid numbers, but respectable enough that your wallet won't file a formal complaint every time you visit a gas station. Now, before the Mazda fan club starts printing t-shirts, let's keep things honest. Because every car has weaknesses. First, rear seat space. If you're buying this vehicle to transport 6'4" basketball players across the country, you might want to reconsider. The rear seat isn't terrible, but it's definitely not the place where friendships grow stronger during a road trip. Second, road noise. Mazda did a lot right with this vehicle, but depending on the tires and road surface, you may notice more highway noise than you'd expect from something that feels this premium everywhere else. It's not a deal breaker, but it's worth mentioning. Third, if you're shopping used, check the infotainment system carefully. Some earlier CX-30 models experienced occasional lag, freezing screens, and Bluetooth hiccups. Most of these issues were addressed through software updates, but make sure the previous owner actually performed them. Otherwise, you'll spend 3 days blaming your phone before realizing the car simply needs an update. And while we're talking about ownership, let's discuss the paint. Mazda makes some of the best-looking colors in the entire industry. Soul Red Crystal alone has probably convinced thousands of people to buy a Mazda. The problem is that the paint can be thinner than some owners would like. Rock chips tend to show up faster than that one friend who suddenly appears when free food is involved. So inspect the paint carefully, especially on used examples. But here's the beautiful part. Those issues we just discussed, they're mostly minor. None of them represent the kind of catastrophic failures that send owners running to internet forums at 2 in the morning asking strangers if they should sell their vehicle immediately. The Mazda CX-30 is proof that reliability doesn't have to be boring, it doesn't have to look like an appliance, it doesn't have to feel like punishment. It's the automotive equivalent of finding out the smartest kid in class is also the coolest one. And that's exactly why it earns a spot on today's list. But don't go anywhere, because if you thought the CX-30 was impressive, the next vehicle has been building a reputation for surviving everything short of a direct meteor strike. And before we reveal it, do Old Man Garage a quick favor. Hit that like button if you've ever owned a car that somehow lasted way longer than it had any right to. And send this video to that one friend who thinks buying unreliable cars is a personality trait. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Now, if the Mazda CX-30 is the quiet overachiever that nobody notices until it's too late, the next vehicle on our list is basically the guy who's been doing the same job perfectly for 20 years, while everyone else keeps updating their resume. We're talking about the Toyota Camry. And yes, I know, the Camry. Some of you just rolled your eyes so hard you almost checked your blind spot. The Camry has spent decades being the internet's favorite punchline. People call it boring. People call it bland. People call it the automotive equivalent of plain toast. And yet somehow, every time we talk about cars that refuse to die, guess who shows up? The Camry. It's almost annoying at this point. You can buy sports cars with twice the horsepower, luxury sedans with 3 times the technology, SUVs with enough screens to qualify as a movie theater. And somehow the Camry keeps quietly outliving all of them. At this point, Toyota engineers must be laughing every time they hear someone call the Camry boring, because boring is exactly the reason it survives. Let's start under the hood. For years, Toyota has relied heavily on naturally aspirated engines in the Camry lineup. The famous 2.5-liter 4-cylinder and the legendary 3.5-liter V6 have become almost mythical among long-term owners. Not because they're flashy, not because they're exciting, because they work, year after year, mile after mile, road trip after road trip. These engines are engineered with the kind of discipline that's becoming increasingly rare in the automotive industry. Toyota doesn't usually rush into trends. They watch other manufacturers experiment first. Sometimes it feels like Toyota is standing in the corner watching everyone else set off fireworks indoors and saying, "We'll just wait and see how that goes." And honestly, that's probably why their reliability numbers are so good. The 2.5-liter engine in particular has become one of the most respected power plants in the industry. Depending on generation and configuration, owners regularly see fuel economy numbers around 28 mpg city and over 39 mpg highway in hybrid versions. That's not just saving money. That's the kind of fuel efficiency that makes gas stations wonder if you've moved away. The transmission follows the same philosophy. No unnecessary drama, no weird behavior, no personality disorders, just smooth operation designed to survive for the long haul. And this is where Toyota really separates itself from the pack. Ownership costs. Because buying a vehicle is easy, keeping it alive is where things get expensive. The Camry has spent years building a reputation as one of the cheapest vehicles to maintain in America. Parts are everywhere. Independent mechanics know them inside and out. Even if you somehow end up stranded in the middle of nowhere, there's a decent chance somebody nearby knows exactly how to fix your Camry. Try that with certain European luxury brands. You'll spend 3 weeks waiting for a part that's apparently handcrafted by monks in a mountain village somewhere. Meanwhile, the Camry owner is already back home eating tacos and watching football. It's honestly unfair. And let's talk about resale value. Because this is another category where the Camry quietly dominates. Most vehicles depreciate so fast you'd think they're competing in an Olympic event. The Camry seems to ignore those rules. Even older models with high mileage often command surprisingly strong prices because buyers trust them. That trust wasn't built through advertising. It was built through millions of owners realizing they could drive these things forever with basic maintenance. That's powerful. But before anyone accuses me of running a Toyota fan club, let's discuss the things you should watch out for. Because no vehicle is perfect. If you're shopping for a used Camry, pay close attention to the 2007 through 2009 4-cylinder models. Some of those vehicles developed excessive oil consumption issues. We're talking about engines that occasionally treated motor oil like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Toyota addressed many of these concerns over the years, but it's still something worth checking. Service records matter. A lot. If the seller starts saying things like, "I think the previous owner took care of it," that's not documentation. That's optimism. And optimism doesn't replace maintenance history. Another thing to inspect is the dashboard condition on certain 2012 through 2014 models. Owners in hotter climates reported dashboard materials becoming sticky, warped, or deteriorated over time. Not a mechanical issue, but definitely annoying. Nobody wants their dashboard feeling like a forgotten candy bar. And here's one that catches a lot of buyers: transmission fluid. You'd be amazed how many people hear the phrase lifetime fluid and immediately decide maintenance is now somebody else's problem. There is no magical fluid blessed by automotive wizards that lasts forever. Check the condition, check the service history, protect yourself before buying, because a little research today can save thousands tomorrow. Now here's what's funny: after all these years, after millions and millions of units sold, the biggest criticism many people still have about the Camry is that it's boring. That's it. Not unreliable, not expensive, not problematic. Boring. Imagine if that was your worst personality trait. Yeah, Steve is a great guy, honest, dependable, successful, never causes trouble. Only problem is he's a little boring. I think Steve is doing just fine. And honestly, that's the Camry in a nutshell. It isn't trying to be the coolest car in the parking lot. It isn't trying to dominate social media. It isn't trying to impress strangers. It's trying to start every morning. And it does that better than almost anything else on the road. That's why families trust it. That's why commuters love it. That's why mechanics respect it. And that's exactly why it earns its place on this list. But now we're heading into number one. And if you thought the Camry was durable, the last vehicle we're about to talk about has built such a ridiculous reputation for longevity that some owners genuinely believe it might survive the apocalypse. Seriously, if the world ended tomorrow, there would probably be cockroaches, Twinkies, and this next car still running around somewhere. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Quick pause before we reveal it. If you're enjoying the video, drop a comment below and tell us the highest mileage vehicle you've ever owned. And if your buddy is currently making terrible financial decisions at a dealership, send them this video immediately. It might save them from themselves. All right? We've talked about a crossover that quietly humiliates vehicles that cost more than it does. We've talked about a sedan that treats maintenance schedules like polite suggestions. But now we're finally at the car that earned the top spot. And honestly, if you've spent any amount of time around mechanics, used car lots, or that one uncle who refuses to buy anything else, this probably won't shock you. Because number one belongs to the Honda Civic. And before anyone starts typing angry comments, hear me out. The Civic isn't just reliable. The Civic has become something bigger than reliability. It's a legend. It's the automotive equivalent of that old refrigerator in your grandparents' basement that's somehow been running since before the moon landing. Nobody knows how. Nobody questions it. It just keeps working. Let's rewind for a second. Honda introduced the Civic back in 1972. At the time, nobody could have predicted what it would become. Fast forward more than 50 years, and there are still Civics from the 1990s driving around America every single day, not sitting in museums, not hidden in collectors' garages, daily drivers, commuting to work, picking up groceries, running errands, still doing the exact same job they've been doing for decades. At this point, some of these cars have outlasted marriages, careers, gym memberships, and a shocking number of New Year's resolutions. And that's not even an exaggeration. Owners regularly report mileage numbers north of 300,000 miles. Some cross 400,000. Some go even further. You know a car has reached legendary status when someone posts a photo of a Civic with 400,000 miles and the internet responds with, "Nice, it's finally broken in." That's the level we're dealing with here. So what's the secret? Why does the Civic keep showing up on every reliability list ever created? It starts with Honda's obsession with engines. Honda was an engine company long before it became a major car company. That obsession never disappeared. It became part of the company's DNA. Every generation of Civic has benefited from that philosophy. The modern Civic offers a naturally aspirated 2.0-liter four-cylinder or a turbocharged 1.5-liter engine, depending on trim level and model year. Both have developed strong reputations for durability when properly maintained. The 2.0-liter is particularly loved by long-term owners because it's refreshingly simple, no unnecessary complexity, no drama, No constant attempts to reinvent the wheel, just reliable transportation. The kind that keeps showing up every morning whether you're happy, sad, tired, late, or questioning your life choices after ordering something from Amazon at 2 in the morning. The fuel economy is another major reason people love these cars. Depending on the year and configuration, many Civic models achieve around 31 mpg in the city and up to 42 mpg on the highway. That's incredibly impressive. You almost start forgetting where gas stations are located. The Civic makes fuel stops feel less like a routine and more like a rare social event. Oh wow, I remember this place. But reliability isn't just about engines. It's about the complete package, and Honda has spent decades refining every part of the Civic experience. The suspension is durable, the steering feels predictable, the controls are easy to understand, the maintenance costs remain reasonable. And when something eventually does need replacement, parts are generally affordable and easy to find. That's a huge advantage, because a reliable car isn't truly reliable if fixing it requires taking out a second mortgage. Now let's talk about the transmission. Yes, many modern Civics use a CVT. And before anybody panics, Honda's implementation has generally proven to be far more dependable than many of the horror stories people associate with CVTs. Honda spent years refining the design, improving cooling, improving durability, and improving long-term performance. The result is a transmission that has earned the trust of millions of owners. That's not easy to do, especially on the internet, where people will write a 12-page forum post because a cup holder made a weird noise one time. And here's something mechanics often tell people. The biggest threat to a Civic usually isn't the Civic, it's the owner. Because these cars become so reliable that people stop paying attention. Oil changes get delayed, maintenance gets ignored, service intervals get forgotten. The car keeps running anyway, and eventually the owner starts believing they're invincible. They're not. The Civic is. There's a difference. Now let's keep things fair. Because even legends have weaknesses. If you're shopping for a used Civic, there are several things worth checking. The first involves certain 2016 through 2018 models equipped with the 1.5-liter turbocharged engine. Some owners experienced fuel dilution issues where gasoline could mix with engine oil, particularly in colder climates and short-trip driving situations. Honda addressed the issue through software updates and warranty extensions in many cases, but it's still important to verify. Check the service history, ask questions, inspect carefully. Second, pay close attention to the air conditioning system on older Civic generations, especially many examples produced between 2006 and 2011. Compressor failures became a known issue for some owners. If you're test driving one, turn the air conditioning on. Listen carefully, make sure everything operates properly. A few minutes of testing can save a lot of money later. Third, much like several modern manufacturers, Honda has received complaints about thinner paint in some recent years. Stone chips can appear sooner than expected. It's mostly cosmetic. But if you're the type of owner who wants your vehicle looking pristine 10 years from now, paint protection is worth considering. Now here's the thing. Even after discussing those issues, the Civic's reputation remains almost ridiculous. Because when people talk about long-lasting vehicles, the Civic isn't just part of the conversation. The Civic is the conversation. It has spent decades proving itself, and that's why it takes the #1 spot. Not because it's flashy, not because it's expensive, not because it's trendy, because it consistently delivers exactly what people want. Dependable transportation that keeps going long after the monthly payments are forgotten. And that's becoming rarer every year. So there you have it. 3 vehicles, 3 completely different personalities, and 3 machines that have earned reputations for surviving longer than most people expect. The Mazda CX-30 proved that reliability doesn't have to be boring. The Toyota Camry reminded us why it's been dominating roads for decades. And the Honda Civic showed us why some legends never seem to fade away. Now we want to hear from you. Which one would you choose? The CX-30, the Camry, or the Civic? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if this video saved you from making an expensive mistake, do Old Man Garage a favor and hit that like button. It helps the channel more than you think. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stick around because we've got plenty more car content coming your way. And trust me, the next list might upset